What's going on, YouTube? Decided to make a video about my brand new 2019 Bass Tracker Classic that I just picked up last Saturday. There's not a lot of videos out about this boat yet, of course, because it's still new. Not a lot of people have it, so figured I'd make a quick video, a little quick overview, stating a few things about it. Maybe it'll help you guys out. A few things I noticed about it I didn't like. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the boat. Decided to start up a new channel, maybe just see how things go with it. Maybe I'll do some more videos, just depends on the responses I get. First off, if you guys are waiting on your boat to be completed so you can go pick it up, mine came with a 7-way connector on it. I was told that they were seeing them come in with the 4-way or the 7-way. So you might want to be prepared with either plug, just in case. That's what I did. I had a 4-way and a 7 on mine. But I believe they can mount whichever one you need on there. So also accepts a 2-inch ball. So you'll need a 2-inch ball also when you go pick it up. These hooks on the strap here, the little clip here, I don't know if you can see it. I don't like that on. It's a little hard hooking it up, hooking the boat up on there. Probably gonna remove that clip on that winch strap. The trolling motor, I didn't use a trolling motor. I went with my father. He's more experienced with operating the boats than I am. I'm still kind of learning, so I let him operate everything. But we used a trolling motor, and it had, in his opinion, said it has plenty of power for this boat. He said he didn't notice an issue with it. So if any of you guys, we're probably not never really going to use it very much at all. But it should be sufficient, I believe. Did use the live well. We used that for a little while and then cut it off. We did notice when we went to cut it back on, it didn't want to work for some reason. We got home and put the water hose on it and put some pressure up and cut it on, and it was working again. So I don't know, maybe it just had some air in it or something, I don't know. Of course, you got the rod holders over there, they work good. There's storage up front here, as you all know. I'm not sure if you can see it with the lighting, but I keep my anchor and the anchor rope up there and that. They did recommend to pull the seats out while you're trailering it, so you just lift them straight up. They come right out. That's a little aggravating having to take them out. I wish I could just leave them in there and not have to mess with them, but it's not that big of a deal, I guess. This is the, of course, you guys know if watching these videos, and I'm sure you guys seen a lot of videos about the Heritage. You know, this is locked. I don't have the keys with me to open it, but have all my gear in there. It holds a good bit. And you have some few storage bins underneath the seat. I bought this, which I'll go over that in a second. It's the console. It has your switches over here for your lights and all, and your aerator and your bilge pump. It has the 12 volt plug in there. A cigarette lighter where you can plug in different things there. Of course, we have the 50 horsepower Mercury on it. There was a break-in period that I was told on the motor for 3 hours, 3-hour break-in period. We did notice when we first started using the boat, it didn't seem like it was going very fast, but then after about a good 30 minutes or so of running it, 40 minutes or so, it seemed like it started to open on up, and it started getting some pretty good speeds in. It was definitely running faster then. Probably say, if I had to guess, it was running in the somewhere in the 40s range. I'd say between 43 and 48. We didn't have a way to read it or nothing, so I'll have to get back with you on the exact what we were getting anyway. Here's the depth finder that comes with it. It's the Hook 4X. I don't really like this at all. I do notice that when we got up to any kind of speeds at all, you couldn't get an accurate reading on the depth. It could be a placement with the transducer back here. I want to check that out. We'll probably try to mess with that a little bit, see if I can get a better better reading off of it by adjusting that. Of course, it comes with the transom saver there for your motor and all. I bought some straps because the straps that come with it, if you guys have obviously been seeing some of the other videos with the Heritage and all, these straps are horrible. They're crappy. So I'm going to be putting these on here. The only thing I didn't like about this is that it has zinc plating for the bolts that come with it, and I'm going to go get some stainless steel ones to install this. But you see here, you're going to have just enough room. Should have just enough to mount this on there without interfering with the lights there. One of the things I did before I'd gotten the boat, I knew what kind of fuel tank it had, so I went ahead and bought a secondary one. The reason why is because there's a few areas that we'll be using a good bit of fuel, and what I like to do is run all the old fuel out of one and then switch over to a new tank. So that way I'm not constantly having old fuel sitting in there and putting new fuel on top of old fuel. It allows us to run one out and then switch over to another one. Probably going to look into wiring, hooking these both up to where maybe putting a switch or something on here. I'm not sure how to do that, but where I can have them both hooked up. Be a lot easier than having to disconnect one and connect the other. One thing I didn't like though is these fuel tanks. One thing I noticed is I had some gas leaking out of this one over here. When I put it in my vehicle to go fill it up, and I took my gas can with me too to put in this other one. There was gas that had spit out that the end of that connection over there. And the way these tanks are made is inside this lid there is a flapper valve in there. It's a little red rubber flapper valve, and what it does is as the pressure builds up in this tank, instead of this venting out like a normal vent cap works, what it does is as the pressure builds up, that flapper valve will open and it sucks air in and it pushes it out to the motor. So Mercury installed this thing here on it to keep the pressure from putting too much pressure on that motor and causing it to flood out, or other issues from getting too much fuel. So that's what caused my fuel tank to be leaking. And what happened is also, as we had that over there and as we were fishing, we noticed that we kept smelling gas, and there was a good bit of gas that had squirted out of that tank. So just a heads up for you guys, if you're only going to use a 6-gallon tank and that's all you're going to need, then you won't have the issues I'm having with it. If you keep it hooked up, you won't going to have that problem. But I pulled them little pieces out of that gas cap, so now my gas can, it works how it's supposed to. When it builds up pressure, it has a two-way, that vent cap works correctly now. Pressure will come out instead of it shooting more gas up the gas fuel line there. So I just took a needle nose plier and pulled that little red plug, the little flapper valve piece there, just pulled it, it just comes straight out. So that's what I did. Now I don't have any more gas spilling out of my tank, my spare tank over there. And if I decide to put it in my vehicle, like I said, I won't have any going in the vehicle. But I also have the Mercury, the Vessel View thing. The Vessel View, I believe, I might have said that incorrectly, but I have that installed on here. I'm not going to remove the cover and show you guys. I might cover that in another video in the future if I decide to keep doing more. It's pretty happy with the boat overall though. I will say though, when as it started getting up and the motor started breaking in and we started getting up to a good speed there, as we were cornering and going around some of them sharp curves, that this boat will start to slide on you. We did notice that, so you guys are probably going to have to slow down when you're going around curves and stuff. If there's any questions or comments or tips maybe you guys want to give me on anything, or comments, or maybe I can answer some questions that you guys may have about this boat. Just want to give you guys a quick overview of it and a few little thoughts about it. But overall, don't come with a spare tire. I wish it did have a spare tire. I feel like for the purchase of the boat and the money you spend, it'd be nice if it did have a spare tire. Other than that depth finder, a fuel tank issue I have, which most people probably won't have that issue. And these straps are other straps, the fuel tank, and the depth finder. That's the only issues I really have with this boat. Other than that, it's perfect. Alright, well, like I said, if you guys have any questions or comments, any things you guys want to know about, I can help you out. Just leave comments down below and I'll try to answer them for you guys. If you like this video, maybe I'll try to make some more in the future. Alright, you guys, y'all have a good one.